On the road.
Traveling edition.
Yes, we are filming this episode while we are driving, so if the quality is not what it usually is,
what our viewers have come to expect.
yeah, we apologize, but, we just wanted to get this episode out, We want to talk about the game last night, and so...
Our Hawkeyes are down in Cancun, so I'm sure that's their number one priority is taking care of business on the court.
Yep.
And I'm afraid for O'Grady.
You're afraid for O'Grady?
Well, down there in the sun, near the equator, that's rough on those fair-skinned girls.
So today we're going to be talking about the game last night on Thanksgiving. The first game in the Cancun Challenge, the Iowa Hawkeyes versus Rhode Island.
Yeah, and it was a very close game.
It was a close game.
And it was, I was feeling a little frustrated with the way the first half, they broke free in the third quarter, but I don't know, what would you say was the reason that it was such a sluggish game, besides the fact that they're in Cancun?
Yeah. The final score is 69-62. Not a very big win, not a blowout or anything. I mean, I think it's important to note, this new Hawkeyes team it's a pretty brand new team, only one true returning starter. A big piece of that is Lucy Olson, who did not play in the game.
Yeah, let's talk about, we didn't know throughout the game, what was the extent of her injury. We just watched the game. We didn't get on the Google.
She didn't dress for the game. She was in, street clothes.
So we're going, oh, no, this is a big deal. What did we learn?
We learned that she tripped and got a cut. A deep cut, it said. But it also said it was not season ending or season altering. Just a minor little injury, I guess.
She tripped, and what she hit her knee on, did it say?
It did not say, but it said it was a deep cut. So.
Well, let's speculate. What would you trip on that would get you a deep cut?
I don't know. Maybe she hit the bleachers, I bet.
That could be.
Probably bleachers or something.
Yeah. Sharp kitchen knife.
A kitchen knife.
Hi, that could
that sounds like sabotage. Somebody sabotaged her.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Big Ten's savage.
Yeah. So, Lucy Olson, who is one of the leading scorers for the Iowa Hawkeyes, did not play in the game. I think that was a big part of it.
Yeah. So let's talk, those of you who watched the pod last time, you know that we spent some time talking about Taylor McCabe.
We did. We had some insights.
We had some insights about things that Taylor McCabe could do to better contribute, to play into her potential. So if you haven't seen that episode, go back, because it's I'm pretty sure Taylor tuned in and took our advice.
Probably, yeah.
Because she did all of those things.
She did
what did you see come out of Taylor?
Yeah, so what we talked about in our last podcast was how Taylor McCabe has kind of been, I don't know the right word for it, pigeonholed into, she is mostly just even a catch and shoot 3-point shooter.
Right.
And that's been the majority of her game, her first 2 years of college. And once she got a little bit more playing time this year, we were expecting more things, more of what we saw from her as the Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year, a little more versatility, and it was still mostly just catch and shoot. But last night, and I think it was the third quarter specifically, we saw her...
First, we saw a drive and dish.
And we saw that. That was in the first half. Yeah, first half. She shot faked. The girl jumped in the air, drove, kicked it to somebody. Maybe Feuerbach or somebody. I don't remember who she kicked it to. But she kicked it out to somebody. They made the shot. That was a really good play.
Then we were good job.
We were oh, she listened.
She listened to the pod, yeah.
And then, in the third quarter, I remember she had a play where she drove in. Maybe she had a shot originally, but it wasn't a great shot. So then she drove in and she had this little one-handed 2-foot floater, probably 15 feet outside the lane or something.
Yeah. She was looking for O'Grady inside, which that's
O'Grady.
O'Grady. Oh goodness, that's our next big post player. I don't want to compare her to Monica. Thank you. Because she's in a class by herself, and I don't really like to do that with players. Let players be, who they are. But she is taking the Jan Jensen textbook of how do you make sure you use your body, protect the ball with minimal dribbles, and just power it up. That's what O'Grady was bringing last night. And Rhode Island, they didn't have a lot of size, but they weren't small either. So it wasn't like she was powering it up against, 5'10" forwards. I mean, she was powering it up against their big girls too. And so she really showed up last night. I'd call her, O'Grady was the player of the game.
Absolutely.
In my mind.
Leading scorer, she had 18 points on 8 for 9 from the field.
Well, yeah, oh wow. Yeah, and then I'd love to count dribbles because I don't think she took it. All of her post moves are just like I said, by the book. Jan Jensen has indoctrinated that style, and it is a signature of Iowa post players, in my mind.
I agree. I think Hannah Stolke also had a pretty good game. She had 13 points. I saw a lot of her. She did go really strong to the basket a lot of times and finished through a lot of contact, which was good. And then, like we said, Hannah Stolke has kind of been spreading the floor a little bit more, coming to more of a 4 position instead of a 5.
And handling the ball.
The ball really well.
On last night is like she must have spent some time working on that, or maybe she's just having more opportunities to handle the ball. Put it on the floor and dribble it out in the open court. Not hey. Okay.
Somebody just tried to merge into our lane.
We're coming in. I need a second. Take it from me.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I noticed a lot of stuff I haven't seen from her, like, behind the back dribbles, and, just being out on the perimeter. We also talked about Rhode Island had a pretty decent press, but the Hawkeyes weren't too frazzled by it. I think especially when they could get Hannah Stolke the ball in the middle of the court, press was pretty much done.
Right.
So Hannah Stolke had a big presence there.
The press were when they were trying to actually run their press break, and it was a miss pass. So that was my interpretation of what happened. They would be trying to go to the middle and they'd just throw it too far, and then the whole thing would break down. It was a turnover. I think turnovers, Iowa has to clean that up.
Yeah, I agree. I think because it was a close game, and some of that is Lucy Olson, but not all of it. There are other issues like the turnovers. Something that I personally noticed is that a couple times, they're trying to get into the motion of their offense, and it almost doesn't look like they're on 100% the same page. Like, I just think a couple times, like, somebody would try to drive, and somebody's trying to, like, cut into their driving lane and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
that's a great
spacing would get a little messed up sometimes just because maybe the chemistry is not 100% there yet.
They're a new team.
They're a brand new team. I think some of these issues will be fixed with time. That's what I think.
Well, and let's talk about some of these freshmen. And again, when we're doing the pod in stationary, we generally have some information in front of us. Believe it or not, I mean we wing this mostly. Yeah. But we also have data in front of us. So we don't right now. So I mean, I'm going to talk about the big girl freshman. The big girl freshman. Number 5?
Number 5, yeah, Ava Heidman.
Oh, see, she's, I'm not going to look at that.
Yeah, she's not looking about that, don't worry.
Strong player, right in the mold of O'Grady. Say Monica's name.
Susanna.
why can't, I mean, it's been years since Danu. Okay. Same mold, really bold plays.
Yeah.
And I think that might be, that's pretty typical for teams over there, Thanksgiving, big trip that they take as they try to get those freshmen some quality minutes. And I was impressed with the way she was attacking the basket, not always finishing, and some just voracious rebounds as well. And then there's another guard, a little shorter.
So there was one guard who got her first start. Is Taylor Stremlow got the start, and then there was Aaliyah Guyton. I don't know how to say her last name, but Aaliyah, the one who came in and hit some threes.
Would she have 3 threes? Like, welcome to
Iowa. Yeah, like
she
2 in a row.
She
Yeah.
didn't really play. Or was it just 2?
Yeah, I think it was 2.
Oh, okay. 2 in a row where they left her open at the top of the key.
Yeah.
That was a mistake for Rhode Island. And she stepped up. So I think that the recruiting class, which you got to credit Jan for, because I think Jan has always been instrumental in recruiting. That's just typical for an assistant or an associate head coach to be kind of the one that's doing a lot of the contact and the having the conversations and sitting in the living rooms. Of course, Lisa does that. Lisa did that as well, but assistants or not the head coach are often the leaders in that. And so she's recruited a great group.
Yeah.
And then, of course, snagging Lucy Olson, who had the confidence in Jan to want to stay.
Yeah.
Just credit to Jan all the way around. This is a seamless transition.
Oh yeah.
As Kate Martin put it, when they were interviewing her at the last home game, it is seamless, and in many ways, Jan's going to bring elements of who she's an independent person.
Yeah.
She spent the last however many years with Lisa, but she's got her own style that we'll learn more about. One thing that I want to mention about the Iowa chemistry, like you said, as they gel, they have an incredible system in place to get that chemistry going. And if you'll notice in any of the documentaries or whenever you see some kind of special about the Iowa women's basketball team, they spend a lot of time in a circle.
They do the circle thing.
They do this circle thing. And so, I think about just the idea of a circle for conversation. Everyone is equal.
Yeah.
And there's nobody that's leading it. Everyone gets a chance to, say what's on their mind and be their true, authentic self. And so they keep that circle tight, and they believe in circles. And there's just so much power in using that style to communicate and to gel as a team, or any group for that matter. So I've always loved that about the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, I think it takes a very good culture to be able to handle a player like Caitlin Clark as well as they handled it. I think a lot of teams, you put a Caitlin Clark level star on their team, and there'll be a lot of jealousy and resentment and maybe not wanting Caitlin to do her thing, which Caitlin's thing is logo threes and scoring 40 points, whatever. And some teams might not like that. You don't want that. You want, it's I want to score, I want to be the star. And I think Iowa, the culture, they seem to have really just embrace Caitlin for the player she is, and Lisa is I think was the perfect coach for Caitlin to go to, because she let Caitlin be Caitlin. Yep. And so I think that's very indicative of a strong culture.
It starts with the circle. I'm telling you, that is so key. I work in education, and when we talk about restorative practices or just classroom management and building relationships, circle is how you do that. And Iowa has embraced the circle. It's not the physical act of sitting in a circle is powerful, but it's the it's the encouragement to share, listen, talk to each other, be real. That's all part of circle culture as well, and they are nailing that.
Yeah, I think something that they used to say when they had Caitlin, I heard them say it a lot, is like, when Caitlin's light shines, it shines on all of us. And they just really see, like, every single person is important, and I think they can all feel that. And so, yeah, we love their culture from what we see of it, of course. And I agree with you. I think the chemistry will come.
Well, and when we get our press pass,
right,
we'll be able to get more inside the program to tell you more about the culture that they build and how they build it.
Yeah, and like if any Iowa players are listening and want us to give an interview, like
you're welcome on the pod anytime. We will clear the schedule.
Yeah.
And make it work for you.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so Iowa plays again tonight. They play BYU, which I don't know much specifically about BYU this year, but they're a tournament team.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good game. Maybe Lucy Olson will be back. Maybe she won't. I'm not sure, but
she's a deep cut.
Deep cut. So I would say tune into that, but it is hard to tune into these games. I bought the Flow Hoops subscription for $20. It's a shame that you got to pay that much money to watch the Iowa Hawkeyes, but if you don't want to watch it, we can recap it for you. Yeah, we got you. Okay. Well, that'll about do it.
That's gonna do it.
See you next time.